I wasn't expecting the Grey Knights video that I made a few days ago to kind of explode on the channel like it did. I really was not expecting that, as well as all the support recently from you guys, especially for a lot of you guys who said that you really enjoyed that video and kind of using it as templates for your own Space Marines and such. So yeah, appreciate the support you guys given me. So I did get one comment saying the guy was new to Warhammer. He wanted to have more lore accurate looking Space Marines as well, rather than kind of these skittle looking Marines that you'll see. I figured why not? It'd give me an opportunity to kind of dig deeper into some of these chapters as well. I'm not a huge Warhammer expert. I am by no means a Warhammer expert. I just love the lore and such, and obviously the look of the Space Marines. So I decided to do some digging. So what I decided to do for this video is it's all going to be successor chapters, as well as one chapter, Angels of Damnation, which is an expanded universe chapter, and I didn't know there was an expanded universe of Warhammer, but I just like the iconography and the heraldry for Angels of Damnation, and I wanted to make sure that I would pick several chapters that we could actually make more feasible into Space Marine 2 as opposed to the Grey Knights video I did, where I tried to interpret as much as I could using the armor choices that we had available. Okay, so what we're going to do today is an Alpha Red Guardian. Now, an Alpha Red Guardian, I believe they are a successor chapter to, I think, I'll have to look that up. Maybe I'll leave it somewhere around here, but they are a successor chapter. No, wait, if I remember right, they're they are exclusively a Primaris Marine chapter. They are not a successor chapter. That's right. They're not a successor chapter. They're an exclusive chapter of nothing but Primaris Marines. They were actually made during the later half of the Indomitus Crusade. So they are actually a brand new chapter, so they are not an established chapter. And of course, they're not well liked by their firstborn peers, because obviously they're a chapter that's comprised entirely of Primaris Marines. Now, it's actually a pretty cool heraldry piece, especially once you start decking them out with drip, with all the armor pieces that you guys have available. And I'll show you on my Assault and Tactical Marine. I'll show you what the base will look like on my Tactical Marine, and I'll show you what the Tactical Marine can look like once you start putting in slapping armor pieces on him. And obviously my Assault Marine is pretty decked out. I think my Assault Marine turned out really well. He's a good looking Alpha Red Guardian. Now we're actually going to start from scratch, and I'm gonna do it in this format particularly because I personally also like customizing my classes or my character, whatever. I just don't like that when I'm trying to get inspiration, or if I'm just trying to look up and see how other people have done their characters, whether it's Space Marine 2 or Black Desert Online, Terra, Invictus, games like those where you can really customize your character to your liking. I don't like how a lot of these videos will show you a list. They'll just give you a little bullet point list and tell you, okay, this is what you need, and then they'll just quickly show you what to do. I don't like doing that. I prefer videos explaining to you, like, what's the thought process of choosing this color over this color, or what's the process of picking this piece over this other piece and such. That way you guys can actually follow along perfectly. And what I'll also do that I did not do in the Grey Knights video was showing you guys alternatives if you don't have the DLC options. And they're actually, for Alpha Red Guardians, you won't need any alternative options. I don't think any of it will need DLC items. So all the color choices that are used are available to you right away. You just gotta unlock them through the specific heraldries that they come from. So like I said, we're gonna start on a fresh canvas with my Grey Knight Heavy, and man, does he look good. This is my best work so far. Yeah, I can look at him all day. This is the female equivalent of Black Desert Online. Maybe the Dark Knight from Black Desert Online. Actually, yeah, I'm more of a ranger. What is it? The ranger class? The female elf, female archer. This is the equivalent, and I'm fine with that. So now what we're gonna do is I'm going to actually, and before we start slapping on all the armor pieces, we actually are gonna start fresh, just so you can guys see what the base heraldry will look like, and it'll be easier to follow along. And then let's see, for the base color, actually it doesn't matter what the base color will be, because we are going to be using a different red. So I was experimenting with some color choices for the base armor color, and what I found is what you want is a dark red. That's not going to work, so we'll just add the individual pieces. So you are going to need the helmet, obviously both pauldrons. You will need the legs.
And both arms. Actually, you're gonna need everything. Okay, so we'll start from the top, work our way to the bottom. So for the head, what you want to make sure, and I think this pattern in particular, I believe, is available to everyone, even though it says DLC. When I bought the standard edition of Space Marine 2, it actually came with this Ultramarine pack, which came with this stripe here, and then obviously the Ultramarine weapon skins for the bolt rifle and the chainsword. So I think everyone should have this DLC. You just have to unlock it in the heraldry. So what you need is this pattern, and then for your red, as I was scrolling through the different reds, you actually need a darker red, and we actually have the perfect red for that, and that's corn red. This is heraldry under the Heretic Astartes heraldry, so you will have to unlock it, but you won't have to go too far. It's actually the second option to unlock in the heraldry, so you're only going to need 60 requisition points for it, as far as I know, if I remember right. So dark red, and then for the stripe. So we can't. The way the source material shows me is the black only goes up to this particular spot here on the helmet before going all the way back. So it doesn't actually go all the way down to the eyes. So everything here in front of this, I don't know what this would be called, but up to this point here, that's this little helmet scoop, all this here is supposed to be red. But again, this is the best we can do to interpret heraldries that, you know, obviously we're never going to see in the game. I don't think we're ever going to see this chapter to begin with. So it's a nice way to try and bring some fresh chapters into the game. So this is our best option, and now all we need to do now for the lens, and obviously pretty cool that we can change the lens colors. We got the perfect lens color. We need Night Lord's blue. Again, all the lens colors will be are available to you from this from the get-go. The primary color for the back is black. So for the blacks, I was experimenting. If you want to match the dark red with a really dark black, then go with Iron Hand Steel. It is the darkest black, but it also is the most glossy. If you want more of a matted black, Nuln Oil is a good option. There is Abaddon Black, and Abaddon Black, as you can see, this is comparing to Iron Hand Steel. You can see it has a slightly glossier material, but it basically is the same shade. So it is up to you if you want more glossy or more matted. I kind of like the more glossy look. Actually, no, it looks like the Iron Hand Steel is a little more matted compared to Abaddon. So yeah, it's up to you on which black you want to use, but those two work perfectly. And then for the trim piece, you do want to keep it that corn red. And if you want to have a little bit more gilded, make it more gilded, you could always go with Light Bader Gold. But their primary trim piece is actually going to be silver. But unfortunately, we don't have a proper silver in this game. In fact, the silver that we have, I don't even think silver is available. Oh, there it is. As you can see, silver does not show up well on contrast. I don't know if that's just my settings or something, but the silver looks more black. So if you want to have kind of more contrast, Necron Compound would work, but I actually found out that Corax White probably is the best substitute, because again, this isn't I can't call this a proper silver. There is no in between white and silver. So you could use Corax White. I think we'll just use Corax White and skip the red, because they actually don't have a whole lot of red on their iconography. So now these two are done. Now we move on to the chest piece. Again, the base color is going to be that dark red, and then again Corvus black. This is actually for the breastplate. So the breastplate, again, it has to be that silver. Again, we don't have a good silver to begin with, and I think for the heavy, because if you've noticed, when you do the Imperialis on different classes, some of these colors, like if you use Iron Warriors on the Imperialis on, say, Tactical or Assault Marine, it's actually going to come out a little bit darker or a little bit more shinier. So it kind of sucks that it's not universal across every single piece. So I think for now what I'll do, and let's see, what's Necron Compound looking at? Actually, Necron Compound looks a little better. Once we start adding in the other secondary colors, then I'll come back to the chest piece and see if it works out. And then for the pauldron, so the main color of the pauldron, it's actually going to be black. Again, choose between what kind of black you want. And I think these pauldron pieces actually make these blacks stand out a little more. So Abaddon actually does appear a little more glossy. Iron Hands is a little darker, a little cleaner. And then Null and Oil is just a matted black. Obviously Eshin Gray doesn't, even though it looks black, it is a very much a gray. And then I think what I'll do, I'll stick with Abaddon black. And now for the trim piece, again, it's supposed to be silver. But again, we look at silver and look at it. It basically is just you're just looking at black. And there is a very stark contrast in color from the source material that I have. For me, the best choice obviously is Corax White. All these other silver looking colors, they either don't have the proper shade or they don't have enough silver in it. But I think Ironbreaker might actually work. Let's see, what do I need for Ironbreaker? Ironbreaker, you know what, let's do that. So we'll unlock this. And I spent another 1,000 requisites or so on getting other armor pieces to unlock. So Ironbreaker, that actually looks good. Ironbreaker, I was looking at it on another class and it didn't have the proper shade. I guess on the heavy, it looks like it has a proper shade that I need. As now for this pauldron, we do the same exact thing. I'll just stick with the Abaddon and then go with Ironbreaker. Wrong pauldron. Ironbreaker. Okay, now we move on to the iconography. So on their left pauldron, it's supposed to be a shield. The best equivalent that we have to a shield, Praetors of Orpheus icon. So for this shield, you do need the Ultramarines DLC pack. Not the Ultramarines Champion pack. It is part of another DLC. I don't remember which one it is. Oh yeah, right. It's the DLC that gives you all the Ultramarines successor chapters. So you'll need this DLC for this. To get this shield. There is no good equivalent just because it is a shield and their iconography for Angels of Alpha Red Guardians. Sorry, I don't know why I was calling them Angels Red. So yeah, their iconography for the Alpha Red Guardians is an actual shield. This is the best we have to a shield. Doesn't look like you guys have a good alternative. You could just use this because it is a big emblem that's on their pauldron. So I think your guys' alternative, you could possibly use the Dark Angels icon. This is a vanilla icon that you guys can unlock through the Dark Angels heraldry. So that might actually work for you. Or you could go with Raven Guard. Again, it's just you just need a really big, really solid color. Nothing like, you know, something like that or something. You could, yeah, again, just improvise. You just need something big on the pauldron piece. And now on there, for the iconography itself, for the colors, it actually is the base is white and black. So just kind of fiddle around between whites and blacks. And I found that this actually was the best option, but I actually did add in a little bit of red. And that little bit of red actually works too, just to kind of make it stand out. Again, just kind of interpret it. And then for their left pauldron piece, I can't really see what their left pauldron piece is, so I kind of just interpreted it, and I just use the Veteran Honor icon. Base color is white, and then we can just leave it like that. Maybe I'll just color the fist. I'll have the fist be red, just to kind of give it some depth. So yeah, now the pauldrons are done. Now we move on to the gauntlets. Again, the gauntlets are also going to be that corn red. And then that's it for the gauntlets. And again, if you have, once we start adding in armor options and such, yeah, then you'll start changing the trim pieces on it to, I'm going to assume that Ironbreaker might work best, but we'll come back to it once we finish the heraldry first. Okay, so for the legs, you actually are going to need this pattern here, this halved pattern. You do have to unlock this. I don't remember which heraldry it is, but again, the herald, when you go show it in heraldry, it'll take you directly to where it's at. You don't need DLC for it, so it is available to you. You just gotta unlock it. So we are gonna keep the thigh piece that same color, red. You are gonna color the greaves black though, and again, it's up to you on which black you want to use. And then corn red for the thighs, and again, same thing for this leg as well. Corn red. And then your choice of black. And then the last thing to finish off this heraldry is on their left kneecap, they actually have a V, and I'm gonna assume that the V stands for 5 or 5th Company or something, but we don't have that emblem at all. The closest we have are the 6s. which obviously doesn't work. All right, as I was recording this, I totally skipped past the that 7th company marking that you're looking at that has the V pattern. That's actually what you want. I couldn't unlock it because I ran out of requisition points, but that is the one. Just color the lighter portion of it black, and then just color that V red, and then that actually is a perfect 1-to-1 of the marking on the Red Guardians or Alpha Red Guardians marking. So yeah, that's the one. I don't know why I skipped it. And then just change that to corn red, and there you go. This is the heraldry for an Alpha Red Guardian. Now we can start experimenting with the armor and see what it'll look like. Start with Dark Angels. Yeah, nothing for Dark Angels. Ooh, look at that. And that tilt shield. Oh, I would use that if I'd spent more time committing to unlocking everything for the heavy. Oh, that would be the perfect armor choice right there. That tilt shield with the on the pauldron, that is good looking. Actually, that yellow actually works considering they don't use yellow in their heraldry. That works. Yeah, this one's cleaner looking. They have a very clean pattern, very clean heraldry. This is a little too much for these guys in particular. This is perfect for a Grey Knight, for those purity seals, but this is so clean. I do have to do one more mission to unlock. Otherwise, I'll pick this. So for now, we'll just use that. Let's see, for the halo. What about the halo I just got? Nah. Yeah, the halo, you can really just pick whatever, just because, you know, this is on a heavy. I don't know what an Alpha Red Guardian heavies and Gravis armor looks like. So I just kind of just pick whatever looks cool. This looks cool. Makes him stand out pretty well. Now let's see what we can do for gauntlets. Between these 2 gauntlet options and purity seals. You know, let's just... Oh, actually, no, I can't unlock that. Keep forgetting I don't have all the armor pieces unlocked for the heavy. We'll just use this. Other gauntlet. Let's go with this big guy. And then for legs, that doesn't look too bad. And then for the final leg piece, now all you got to do is just go back and just kind of fix up the trim pieces down here. Let's see, since we added that little gorget on the helmet, we'll just change that to Iron Breaker, or you can make it gilded. Looks like it's got detail in it too, makes it look rusty. You know, I guess for now I'll just leave it red, but we will change this to Iron Breaker. Same with the trim here, Iron Breaker, and Iron Breaker. All right, there you go. Here's my interpretation of an Alpha Red Guardian on a heavy. You've seen what it looks like on a blank canvas with just standard looking power armor, and now here he is in decked out, dripped out armor. So he actually came out not too bad. Now, I'll quickly show you my Tactical Marine. So, obviously the source material was on a standard Marine, none of these special classes. So, here is the standard pattern, and as you can see, when comparing between, as far as the colors go, you can see now that when I look at my source material, the Tactical Marine actually has a closer look to it, and I'll post I'll post up that source material that I was using for the Alpha Red Guardians. And as you can see, once you compare it to the source material, and maybe I can leave it up to you, but you know, once you start putting on over the top armor pieces, yeah, we'll start taking away some of that color. So yeah, I am just showing you what it looks like. And then once you start putting it on, and this is what I chose for my Tactical Marine, just so I can kind of keep it in themed with the heraldry. Tactical Marine has some ridiculous looking pauldrons, which aren't too bad, but you know, you can't use emblems and such with these pauldrons, so that's why I went with him. I think it came out not too bad. The war gear, which is his sash, the belt, I think that red, it's a good matchup because it does contrast with the greaves, the boots. As you can see here, for my trim piece up here, rather than coloring it that silver, or you know, it's supposed to be silver or white, I did leave it red because of the skull here. Again, that contrast in color. I really like contrast in colors. So that is my take on Tactical Marine. Came out not too bad. The Assault Marine actually came out, I think, the best. So the heavy is pretty good looking, but I think my Assault Marine came out really well too. As you can see, he is using a brighter shade of red. Again, I was experimenting a bit. So I think what I'll do now, since I have corn red, because I do like the way he came out, I will change his base color to that corn red. I think I'll just leave that because I think. Oh. Actually, I think the standard Mephiston red. I think Mephiston red actually. Yeah, Mephiston red looks a little bit better, just because the faceplate for the Tactical Marine, and this is the last helmet piece that you can unlock for armor progression on the Tactical Marine. And as you can see, it's supposed to be gold, so it does have a metallic finish to it, which is why that red kind of appears as is. And then the corn red looks a little weird, so I will keep it on that Mephiston red. Let's color the jetpack. Yeah, we'll just do everything here corn red. I think it'll come out a little cleaner. Let's see, I did on the Iron Breaker. Let's see if Iron Breaker looks a little bit better. It does not. So you can see on the pauldron piece for the Assault Marine, you can kind of see Iron Breaker actually is not as prevalent as it is on the Heavies pauldrons. So that's why I went with the corn white. Again, it's still white, but I think it's closer to the source material. The thighs, the thigh armor pieces. All right, there we go. We made the change. Oh, and then I just gotta change this to corn red. Okay, that actually looks better with a much darker red. Yeah, that looks way better. So, and then obviously I was experimenting with the armor pieces, but again, that is all up to you on how you want to drip out your Marine. So this is just my take on Alpha Red Guardians for Space Marine 2. Again, we don't have to interpret too much besides the silver. Otherwise, it is a much easier heraldry to work on as opposed to Grey Knights, which is all 100% interpretation. So yeah, not too bad. I haven't done it for every single class because I still need to unlock some stuff for the Bulwark. I gotta unlock everything for the Sniper. The Sniper, yeah, there actually is a heraldry out there that I saw where the cloak is needed. So I might do that on the next video and see if we can drip out the Sniper, but I need to put some work into the Sniper to actually unlock a lot of the armor pieces. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode of creating, I don't know what I'm gonna call this. There's thousands, and I mean thousands, of successor chapters as well as brand new chapters, you know, that are all Primaris Marines. So this video could go on for, or this series of videos, if I decide to go this route, there are thousands of them, but some of them don't have the best looking heraldry options because some of them are pretty bland. In fact, before we even end this video, I'll show you just how bland some of them are. So what I'm gonna do, and I'll just show you on the Tactical Marine, let's just do standard armor pattern, and you'll see just how bland some of these are, or maybe you'll like what you're about to see. So I'm gonna do a successor chapter of the Salamanders called Iron Drakes. So obviously this one's pretty easy because it's all you're gonna do with this guy here is you just need a couple pieces. Just make sure you have the helmet, the gauntlets, the legs. I'm guessing this is gonna be like a bonus, so I'll just, rather than split this recording, I'll just show you guys this. Let's see, we don't need anything else. Alright, and now I'll quickly show you what an Iron Drake is. Again, pick whatever black you want. And the gauntlets are also going to be black. Oh, that looks more gray. Yeah, whatever. And then the helmet will also be black. And the eye color, the lens, will be red. And when you want to choose a red, honestly, just go with Mephiston red. It's always going to be a brighter red compared to Evil Sun's Scarlet red. And even when you're in a low lit environment, Evil Sun's Scarlet doesn't really show up well as opposed to Mephiston red. So always go with Mephiston red. I mean, again, it's just if you just want to have a more canonical look. There you go, Iron Drake. Not much. There's not much to something like this. This is what I mean by kind of bland heraldry options. Like this one was pretty easy. This was less than a minute, maybe, you know, this probably just took me about 30 seconds to do. And then there is another successor chapter for Salamanders, and it's literally the same thing. All you got to do All they add in is this pattern piece, this grease pattern piece. This is part of the Dark Angels pack, by the way, the DLC. All you do is add in that, and it stays green, and there you go. It's, I forget what it's called. It has to do with something with dragons in the name of the successor chapter, but it's like dragon fire lord or something like that, or that's like the rank or something. I don't know, but yeah, you slap this on there just to give it that fire appearance that salamanders are themed around, and there you go. You now have another successor chapter. There, I just showed you 2 successor chapters for salamanders. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, thanks a lot. I do appreciate, like I said in the intro, I do appreciate all that support. I was not expecting that Grey Knight stuff to blow up as much as it did. So yeah, I'll definitely work on more of these videos. I actually wanted to do more of these videos anyway. I actually do like fashion a lot, especially in Warframe. If you guys ever look at Warframe, yeah, I am all about the fashion frame side of things, and you know, I don't mind doing fashion hammer. Yeah, keep sticking around for more videos like this. I'm gonna have to research some other successor chapters, mostly because I just want to look for good-looking heraldry pieces. Some that will take more thought into it, and some that will require interpretation, as opposed to something like this, which was brain dead easy to do. But again, just for this, all you guys need for this particular pattern here, if you want to make this successor chapter, again, I forget what it's called. I'm sure someone in the comments will know. Yeah, just get Dark Angels DLC, and then boom, slap it on there, keep it green, and now you just made an Iron Drake and whatever this guy's called again. So thanks a lot. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.